I've been bulking on and off for the past 5 years, transforming from a 135-pound skinny weasel to a respectable 170-pound not so skinny weasel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 negatives of bulking that no one is talking about, as well as answering the question, do you even need to bulk? But first, what is bulking? Bulking is a phrase adopted in bodybuilding, where athletes consume an excess of calories combined with strength training in the hope of building muscle. However, before you reach for your second dessert, I must tell you some important information. It is impossible to build muscle independently, so if during the bulk half the weight you gained was muscle and the other half was fat, that would be considered a successful bulk. That means after each bulking cycle you then need to enter a cutting phase, but your primary goal is to lose the extra fat you've gained whilst holding on to the muscle. Or you can just stay fat, it's up to you. Once you're lean enough, you're then ready to start another bulk, ending up in the perpetual vortex of either feeling too small or too fat. Welcome to bodybuilding. This leads us nicely onto our first bulking negative, and that is body dysmorphia. So this is something I've never talked about on this channel, but it's something I know that a lot of people do suffer with and something I've experienced personally myself as well. I think most people's goal when they start working out is to have visible abs. That's actually really achievable for most people, obviously depending on your starting point. Like most things in life, once you reach your goal, you simply just set your eyes on the next goal rather than taking a minute to appreciate all your hard work and how far you've come. This can lead you to overly critiquing and becoming unhappy with your physique, which is actually ironic because you're probably in the best shape you've ever been in. Joe Fraser posted a video about his mental health recently and I found it really eye-opening and something a lot of fitness people struggle with quietly. Putting so much emphasis onto your physique can really affect your mental health and is something you should seriously consider before starting a bulking and cutting phase. As someone who has a channel dedicated to health and longevity, from my personal experience, bulking ain't healthy. During your bulking phase, you're most likely going to have to eat a lot of unhealthy food in order to reach your calorie goal. I hear a lot of people talking about lean bulking, but I'll be honest with you, I ain't buying it, bro. Eating large amounts of food, in my case peanut butter, led me to have some negative side effects. Problems sleeping, most likely due to my body having to digest so much food, I would find myself constantly waking up throughout the night. Despite eating a large surplus of food, I'd find that I was more tired and lethargic throughout the day. Once again, I think this is due to the body having to work so hard to digest all the extra food. I'd get so hot during the bulk that I'd have to sit with a fan next to me to keep me cool. Granted, this is more of a nuisance, but a nuisance nonetheless. Also in general, exercising like walking becomes much more of an effort, and the fact that you're trying to gain weight and moving less means you don't have to eat as much. You start neglecting your cardiovascular, which obviously has health implications. I'd also experience random pain and achy joints in my body, and once again I think this is due to the excess food probably causing more inflammation throughout my body. Now the main thing to consider before you start a bulk is actually how long it's going to take. So the optimal amount of muscle you can gain is 2 pounds a month, which means if everything goes absolutely perfectly you can gain 26 pounds a year. However, each year of training your potential for muscle growth drops at an alarming rate, which means by year 4 you're throwing celebration parties if you gain 4 pounds a year. Also keep in mind that these statistics are if you do everything absolutely perfect, your training and diet is on point, your sleep and recovery, you don't have any boozy weekends, you don't get injured and you don't get ill. I would personally say from my experience that the minimum of time you want to bulk is 6 months, but really you're looking at 1 to 2 years. Motivation can also be tough when you're on a long bulk, especially during the middle. You are no longer lean, but you're by no means big. You've got months of bulking left, followed by a dieting phase afterwards. It seems so far away that it's very demoralizing. This is the point in the bulk where people usually give up. They'll quickly diet back down so they can see their visible abs again. But just bear in mind that if you do want to get bigger, it's just part of the process. Either dedicate to the bulk or don't bulk at all. So I've seen this happen to quite a lot of my friends, and this is when you bulk up, but then you never diet back down. This can happen for many reasons. You can get injured or become ill during the bulk, which can obviously cause problems, or you can just get used to eating large amounts of food and find it difficult to diet the weight off. Our body wants homeostasis, which means it doesn't really want to be gaining or losing weight, it just wants to stay the same. So the body can adapt and get used to the new weight set point that you've given yourself, making it more difficult to lose the weight. Fortunately this hasn't happened to myself, but I have seen it happen to several of my friends, so it's something definitely to bear in mind, especially if you're someone who struggles to lose weight. But do you even need to bulk? Well, after pouring pouring over the negatives of bulking, of course there are some positives, otherwise people wouldn't do it. Eating more food increases your weight, and being heavier makes you stronger, which is why all strong men are built like blimps. And being stronger inadvertently makes building muscle easier. So can you build a substantial amount of muscle without bulking? Personally, I don't think so, and I'm yet to meet someone with a really impressive physique that hasn't bulked. So unfortunately, I just think it's a necessary evil if you're looking to pack on some serious muscle. Though as we've discovered today, it probably isn't the healthiest thing you can do for your body, but then again, neither is getting blackout drunk every weekend, and I did that for my entire 20s, so what do I know? And finally, to finish up, why I'm never bulking again. When it comes to building muscle, age is a really important factor, and yesterday I turned 38. I know, I don't look a day over 37. Your body's ability to build muscle decreases dramatically the older you get, and this is due to your natural decline in testosterone. For me personally, who's already ran 3 successful bulks, I don't believe it's worth the time or effort in order to hopefully gain another 10 or 20 pounds of muscle. For the first time in a long time, I'm actually really happy with my body, and I want to spend the rest of my life being grateful and looking after it as best as I can. So that's going to be it for another video. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy that time where I took natural steroids for 30 days. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.